absurdity is the spice of life. Some people think that's supposed to say variety, but they've just been eaten by a rabid aardvark. We're going with absurdity, and nothing's more absurd than jamming about 11 billion different franchises together, including stuff that should barely occupy the same shelf, let alone the same racetrack, in a heated run to the finish line. We've got moderately human-shaped individuals like Ulala and the Pyro from Team Fortress, next to rather distorted-looking folks like Alex Kidd and Knights, next to strange anthropomorphic animals like Sonic Tails and that creepy monkey from Samba de Amigo. There's Wreck-It Ralph shooting Danica Patrick with a snowball, while the dude from Football Manager sends a remote control bomb after the other dude from Crazy Taxi. And then everyone's vehicles turn into boats or planes. I'd say that scene qualifies rather beautifully as absurd. I'd also say I'd love to stop writing this and play more of it. Hopefully those 5 seconds of footage were sufficient to clue you in as to the sheer craziness that this game thrives upon. If not, I don't know how my words could bridge that gap. You just have to be willing to accept a pink hedgehog driving through huge luchador statues, dropping explosive blowfish in her wake, before ramping out of a nightclub-themed area, transforming her car into a boat in midair, and taking off down a sluice. That's all there is to it. Transformed in the title refers to that very act of mid-air modification where vehicles can adapt to the land, sea, or sky depending on which big glowing blue ring you manage to pilot through. And before you ask, yes, that does sound a whole lot like Diddy Kong Racing. But Diddy Kong Racing never had Knuckles taking on a drifting challenge through the middle of Shibuya, a much more upbeat Jet Set Radio-style depiction mind, or the glitz and glamour of Sonic the Hedgehog's now obligatory casino stages. Just watch for stacks of chips as you speed across the roulette table. You got a slew of challenges to enjoy, from single race pickup matches to Grand Prix events to the star collecting World Tour mode where you can unlock new stages and racers. Besides just racing, you might be called upon to finish a track in 15 seconds, where time spent in boost mode, either through your collected power-ups or the glowy purple segments of track, doesn't count against this time. You might have to go head-to-head with a series of opponents in sequence. You might have to drift on a very particular strip of track, which is easier said than done, as drifting in this game feels very different to the old blue sparks and boost you're probably more familiar with. But while the mechanics might feel a bit challenging at times, it's never patently unfair, which is the important part. Sure, you might be getting pounded with weapons while in 5th place, but then you engage All-Star mode and, well, let's just say it's getting kind of groovy in here, and I like it. This PC version shares most of the lineup with its console brethren, save for obvious omissions like Mii's and Xbox avatars, and even includes a number of new racers above and beyond its counterparts. But prepare to do some fiddling to get the controls to work. You don't want to be stuck using a keyboard for input, and honestly, who would play a racing game on a keyboard? You might have to convince the game that whatever controller you're using is in fact an Xbox 360 controller in disguise. Call it tricks picked up from our old friend the Team Fortress spy. Online multiplayer supports up to 10 racers at a time, though matchmaking took a heck of a long time and dropouts were plentiful. If you don't want to bother with the interwebs, you can play locally with up to 3 opponents in good old underappreciated split screen. Man, I missed that. If you're looking for a hardcore racing experience, well, you should have stopped watching as soon as you heard my voice, and certainly should have stopped when Ulala started to dance. This isn't about getting every detail of some supercar down correctly, it's about leveling up Sega's stable of colorful characters, modifying their strange and often mechanically suspect vehicles, and then sitting down and having fun alone or in groups. That's the crux of it. If watching Amy Rose battle the heavy on the high seas is your idea of fun, then by all means indulge. Even if it isn't, chances are you'll at least enjoy yourself for a while. That's the important part.